Hey everyone! Recently we had the chance to host Bryce Vernon from Zapier, who gave us an amazing walkthrough of Zapier Central. It was so good that he even threw in a spontaneous extra demo where he showcased how to interact with Airtable using Zapier Central. You're not going to want to miss this one. Let's dive in. So we have there's a clear use case here for lead gen, saving companies and contacts, enriching them afterwards. What else do you have here? Looks like it's pretty diverse type of use cases that we can do with Zapier Central.
For sure. Let's say with Airtable, I think I was working on you have a bunch of orders that are coming in through Airtable and you want to start looking at different information based on what's being ordered. You could create different fields in Airtable and formula fields, and that makes sense. But if you want to do some weekly reporting and be or monthly reporting and ask what are the themes for the different items we're selling and what's trending upwards this month versus downwards, perfect for AI to just go in and crunch some numbers for you instead of having to piece it together with formulas or whatever. And then, you can also have it, for this one, I was sending Slack messages with the results to myself.
Can you also tell it to whenever, let's say, I have a reporting that I'm very happy with in terms of format and I want it to be sent weekly, is this also something that you can configure in your bot and tell it, send that, I'm happy with the result, send that now every Monday at 8 a.m. Would it be able to do that or is it not yet possible?
Yeah, for sure. So let's see. If I were to create a behavior, and it's basically, you set up the trigger. And so you could set it up to be scheduled by Zapier. And so every, Monday at whatever time you can set it up, or, let's see, every week, you choose the day of the week. Let's say it's Friday, time of day, 10 a.m. or whatever.
Yeah.
Once you add that trigger in, then you can, tell it exactly what to do. So, you might want to be hey, go to my Airtable orders base, tell me the top 3 products, then, send me a Slack DM. And so it'll
so easy to configure.
Yeah, it's great. So, it goes through and it'll actually give you suggestions based on your prompt. And so I see, okay, it needs this action to be able to send a direct message. And so I'll do that. And I, can quickly set it up. Let's do, my Zapier account. And then you can just have AI generate what the message is, who it should be for. For this one, it's I want to make sure it does always send to me. I don't know what could possibly happen, but let's just be hey, let me limit this to make sure it's always sending to me. But hey, AI, you generate the message. That's great. So add that in. Find mini records with Airtable. That's exactly what I would need, right? And then you just kind of tell it. You can tell it, which table. So this one would be, I think I have an orders. Yeah, orders. There we go.
And Bryce, this is something I've seen in a few, let's say, AI agent tools where you have both a text prompt, but then you can really specify specific actions. Mm-hmm. So how should we think about it with Zapier Central? Is it everything you specify in the actions that sort of trumps, that's most important, and then the written instructions, just additional context, or if you would now go back and edit that prompt, they sort of both work together? How can you think about when creating these assistants?
Yeah, I would think, the actions really are how do you want to interact with third-party tools? What's something you would do? And then the instructions are when you want to do it. So it's actions, what you want to do, instructions, when do you go do it? And even with this one, it's you do have to think through, do I want to just go find records? Tell me the top 3 products. It's right. It's you do have to kind of think, how will AI know which to go find? And that's where it's maybe just linking up the data as a data source, so it kind of sees holistically all of the data. That might make more sense for this.
Gotcha.
Oh, figuring that out can be a little bit more, you have to really think about it, right? So, I mean, this example honestly should be linking up the data source and not necessarily just like an action of finding records. I want it to look at the data and then it looks like, yeah, let's just test the behavior. You can do a quick test, and before it like takes action, it'll like prompt you and say like, do you want me to go do this? So it's like, okay, yeah, the schedule goes through and it's like, hey, I'm going to go run this test. Like, go to this base, tell me the top 3 products and the thing. So
That's really cool.
it's right here. So even this, right? Like find many records. It's like, I don't actually know what to search for. And it makes sense. So I'm like, yeah, I don't actually think that would work.
Gotcha. So you've got to now give it more content on what do you mean by top 3? Do you mean revenue? Do you mean orders? Like, I guess that's what it's looking for there.
Yeah. And even with when you set up a find record action in any automation, like you have to search by something. Like, so we're not doing a search. We want like an analysis.
Exactly.
And that is where automation and AI kind of get gray, and you have to really think through like, what do we want here? So, I mean, a data source is what we want for analyzing something. So yeah, anyway, that's definitely one use case here. I mean, it does shoot out some records here and like how many were sold of each, which is cool.
But it's already amazing that it's even giving you this reply of like, hey, you might not have given me all the information I need. It is really like talking to a real life person where you don't give clear enough instructions. They're like, hey, Jan, I don't really know what you mean.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty cool. I mean, and it looks like this is like calculating the total quantity for each product. And that's what it's deciding to do, right? So yeah, with AI, I mean, you guys know it's like automation, you get like definitive wrong or right, error or success. With AI, you're molding something. It's way more creative. It's like a different approach completely. And so when you have to do both, like you're using your full brain and it's challenging, but also really fun. So
Super cool. Wow. Very impressive demo. Like it's almost an entirely new product that you showed us. When is it out of beta? Do you have some information to share?
I don't know. There wouldn't be any rush, right? Because when a product's in beta, it can just move quickly. As soon as it goes into general availability, like you have to comply by all these things, and the development team will be held up by that and not be able to ship as quickly. So right now it's like ship, features, feedback. So I couldn't tell you. I don't think it's going to be this year.
Jan, do you have other questions?
No,
Before we close that?
just going to reiterate, super exciting. Looking forward to getting my hands on it for sure.
Yeah, I have a couple of use cases in mind, so I think we're going to be adding at least 1 or 2 tutorials on the Zapier Central very, very soon. May reach out for your expertise, Bryce, on setting that up. Thanks a lot for joining us today and demoing Zapier Central. It was pretty amazing to see it in action.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It'll be fun to see where it goes and how y'all use it too. So let me know.
Cool. Cheers.